Thanks for inviting us along. We came 2 years ago and we're invited back to just probably tell people how we're linked to the river, how we rely on it. So Kimber family farms, well, that's sort of what we go under, but mum and dad are still the drivers, dad probably particularly, but we do produce milk and Angus and Wagyu beef, lamb, wool, lucerne and cereal hay. We got 3 main sites, so Kimber that you're all familiar with, Bega, Cairn River. We employ about 35 staff, mainly casuals, probably due to the dairy. Most of our milkers are casuals. The sites are about 2 hours apart. In Bega we do dairy, calf rearing, beef feedlot and beef herd. Cairn River is mainly, we rear our dairy heifers down there and a bit of hay and silage in spring. Kimber's hay and silage production, fat lambs and wool. We've got 2 dairies. We're on the Brogo River down there. 2 rotaries, so that's a 44 unit. We've got a 50 unit, so we've got a rotary dairy at each end. We feed for production, so average about 9,000 litres a cow a year. So we rely on a lot of bought-in feed from out west, concentrate mainly. The Australian average is about 5.4, but that's more grass-based system. We calve and join every day of the year, so we're pretty much fully AI, which is artificial insemination. What do we got there? We use all our dairy semen sexed, so we only get dairy heifers. We've got rid of the dairy bull, which was a bit of an issue for the industry, so we've got rid of that now, and we use Wagyu semen for anything that we don't want to breed out of to go on into the dairy. That's all contracted. We take them through to about 300 kilos, but yeah, so that's one of the dairies anyway. Brogo River runs through, so we irrigate out of that. Both farms are grazing based with feed pads. This one here is our fresher cows, so they get fed every day of the year, regardless. The other farms, the later lactation cows, so they mainly just get topped up with concentrate on feed pad. These ones do get a bit of grain and protein and minerals mixed with their forage and fed on that. All the grass at the dairy sites grown biologically, mainly from our own effluent and compost. We use a nutritionist. We've had a few different ones. American, we're back on an Australian bloke at the moment. It's a bit more grass-based. We use energy and protein and fibre to balance the diet. Grain and protein and minerals are the main things that we have to buy in to add. Between those 2 farms, the other one you can't see, it follows the mountain around. We've got a fairly modern, it was built 2 years ago, calf rearing facility there. So we feed 250 calves every day of the year on milk, and then they go to another place, this place actually. We've got 2 indoor feedlots there. They were designed to RSPCA rules, and we were doing a dairy beef product into Asia that was a veal product to try and make use of the dairy bulls, but now we've gone to a Wagyu product for anything that that we don't want to breed for milk out of. We take them through to 300 kilos. They have outdoor pens, indoor pens. What else? We also run a beef herd on that farm. It's got a 380 megalitre dam that we irrigate out of as well. Yeah, that's one of the sheds. They were actually fabricated in Vietnam, and yeah, we brought them over and a local bloke assembled them. That was when we were on dairy bulls, and their diet was 90% concentrate, so that's bought in, but it was a good trial. We did it for about 5 years, and they had trouble with the diet, changing the meat colour, and it was fairly fussy, so we ended up getting out of that. So the Wagyu thing seems a lot more stable. This place is in Victoria, Cairn River. There's about 2,000 acres there. It's on the Cairn River, like we've got frontage to the Cairn River there, about 7 k's. We send our heifers down there that will come back to the dairy at 24 months. So they're grown on grass down there, fully green grass, just grazed, and we join them down there at 16 months. They go back to the dairy at around 24 months, ready to calve in and be milked. There's 800 heifers down there every day of the year. We produce a bit of hay and silage down there just when we get the rainfall. At the moment it's good, so it's a bit of a godsend, that place. They just seem to get the rain. So this is Drumore, so I managed Drumore for Mum and Dad, moved there in 2010. We got 7 k's of frontage to the Murrumbidgee. Paul and I were saying earlier, maybe we're the forgotten section of the forgotten river. It is a mess. I've got a few little videos there that hopefully you'll be able to see. Yeah, we produce silage and lucerne. The lucerne silage we find we can make more consistent there. The dairy herd totally relies on consistent feed every day of the year. And we can do that there, and it's still only 135 k's to the other farm, so it's better than bringing it from out west. We do some small bales to racetracks and local shops, public people. We pretty much rely on irrigation because we have such a short growing season. Pretty much 6 months of the year, so the need for the water to be there and consistent is a major. We also, as well as having the water, you've got to have the infrastructure to put it on as quick as you can in between cuts and things like that. Yeah, so we've got 7 pivot irrigators. Most people know it from the highway as the green circles. We've got fixed sprinklers. Used to be predominantly a broccoli farm, so it's gone back to mainly fairly stable. We don't have a great deal of country worked up. It's mainly into lucerne. We've got fixed sprinklers and 1 travelling irrigator. There's 1,000 acres there of irrigation, and the rest is dry land. We grew this crop 2 years ago, and it was actually wheat. We took it through and harvested it, got 9 tonne of grain per hectare off it. I think the Australian average is about 3.1, but that's a lot of dry land too where that was irrigated. But yeah, we still got 9 tonne to the hectare. So yeah, there's an example of how quick it does go off when we stop watering or it doesn't rain. She goes backwards pretty quick. You can see the river in the background there. I've got a bit of a close-up of that. Yeah, we consistently make high quality silage for the 6 months. And that's what the dairy, as I said before, yeah, that's what the cows need. High protein and energy feed for high production. There's a fair bit of mathematics in it as to how many megajoules of energy and protein you feed as to how many litres you get. Dad's claim is if you're going to put cups on a cow, you may as well get a bit out of her. So it's not everyone's cup of tea or job, but yeah, that's sort of where we've gone. Most people in the Bega Valley are probably grass-based and some supplementary feed, but we definitely do push for production. We're actually the biggest supplier of milk to Bega Cheese in Bega. This is the sort of feed that goes to the racehorse trainers. We also do sheep. So fat lambs we do in winter. We put them on lucerne that doesn't quite make the last cut. April to August, sell them at around, we buy them around 30, 35 kilos and take them through to 60. Most of them get killed and go to export. The dry land we do crop and put sheep on if we get rain. Merino wethers we run for wool and meat. We've got some of them on at the moment on failed crops because we haven't had the rain. There's not many of us on the river like active irrigators. I think there's quite a few licences, but there's not a lot of us that are active. And it's a tough climate, short season, but we can grow a lot of food for people. And without water, farming stops, and farming stops, food stops. Our biggest challenges with the river is our access. We've got a causeway that crosses the river. It's probably not recommended, but bloke who does rent a house off us, we have access is probably one of our major issues. We have staff, and because we have trucks in and out every day pretty much to keep the dairies going. That's actually floodwater, not an environmental release, but the environmental release has now totally cut our access. So that's a major challenge. We have got an old suspension bridge, but it's being condemned by 2 engineers. So now she's bring the shopping home before the river comes up. And we do still walk the condemned bridge, although we're not supposed to, so the kids can get to school. But that's it. That's actually a video, but I'm not sure how you play that. But and then the condition of the river on our section, which I said before, Antia and Leon from LLS, they've done a cracking job at this crossing here, getting it under control, but we've still got probably 6.5 kilometres to go. And the threat of the inconsistent flow, because we're controlled by a cease-to-pump level, that's probably our major challenges there. That's a photo of this is actually the main flow of the river where all these trees are. So you can see, it's a struggle to even see the water. That's where the new umbrella comes in, where that body of water is up there. We've actually also got 300 kilowatts of solar. That's that little triangle there. Runs an irrigation pump. We've got one of them on 3 different farms. They tell us now they're going to actually charge us to put the solar into the grid because they can't deal with it. So we thought it was going to be good, but we're going to have to turn our inverter off when the sun's out if we're not watering. So it doesn't cost. It's seems a bit ridiculous, but anyway. That's that same section of river in the winter when it doesn't have the green on the trees. So that's the start of it. It goes 6.5 k's up the river. Paul's on the opposite side to us, so he's the other side, and we reckon it's probably as bad as it gets. And I think that's about it. No worries.